Joseph Jordan, and in a second, I'm going to introduce you to the app that you're going to be making phone calls through, Q. But first, I want to tell you my story and introduce myself so that you understand not just how the app works, but also why it exists, because it's actually about a lot more than just helping you book more demos. So right now, I'm a rising senior at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm doing a dual degree in computer science in the engineering school and strategic management at Wharton. And I've been with Vector for 2 years now, as of June 3rd, which at the time of this recording is yesterday. And when I first started, I definitely did not appreciate how lucky I was to have the opportunity, and I had no idea how much I was going to learn over the next 24 months. I just finished up my freshman year at Penn, and I was excited to show Cutco, but honestly, I was way more worried about hanging out with my friends from high school. I just pulled a 4.0 that semester. I had a great season with track, and I thought because of my grades and the name of my school, my resume was set, and I didn't have to worry about my career. I just wanted a job that summer that was more professional than camp counselor, which I'd done the past couple of years, and I missed the internship boat, got a letter in the mail for Vector, and I figured that was the next best thing. I really wasn't worried about learning, and I didn't think I was going to learn, but it turns out I was dead wrong on both of those accounts. So I've actually learned so much, and the strongest part of my resume now is actually what I've accomplished with Vector. Your grades in your school might matter to help you get the interview, but after that, your interviewer does not care at all where you went to school, what your grades are. They want to know what you've accomplished and how you've added value to the places where you've worked, and they want to see that you're confident and that you can communicate during that interview. And it was really easy for me to show those things when I could just point to my sales numbers with Vector. And it ended up being that the people I admire now in my life are people I've met here at Vector, not at UPenn. You know, guys like Garrett Swatka, Andrew Evans, Mike Leone, Tyler Langmeyer. I mean, these names probably don't sound familiar to you now, but they were doing insane things. They are doing insane things like finishing a book every week for an entire year, making a six-figure income while in college in 1 year around school. I mean, these guys have helped me totally reimagine what I'm capable of and realize that I need to focus more on setting up, my career in my life. So I see so many people in college, including my friends, who are either too complacent or just not confident enough at all about their career and their future. So my goal is that through my app Q, even if just a little bit, I can help you, like me, have an experience here with Vector this summer and beyond that not only sets you up to crush your career and your life, but also that makes you grateful and proud when you look back on it. So if that sounds good to you, then listen to your managers. They know what they're doing. They're going to give you great training and they're going to give you great tools, but they're not software developers. So up until now, they haven't been able to give you great technology. And that's where my app Q comes in. So to give you an idea of the way we used to do it, we used to have these stacks of papers which were really messy that just had names and numbers. This is an actual picture of some of my customer referral sheets and my phone book that I was using. This is my last pre-Q phone jam. And using this method, it's just really hard to keep track of a lot of things that you need to know when you're phoning. How many times you've called people, how well you're doing, who you've spoken to. And if someone calls you back from a number you don't recognize, good luck finding that name and that number in a stack of ton of papers with potentially hundreds of names and numbers so you know who you're talking to when you answer. One time I actually left all of my leads at school when I was going to sell at home, and I had to totally start from scratch and find new people to call. It ended up working out fine, but you can see that pen and paper is a pretty primitive system, and that's why we're trying to move past that. And when you guys have a giant stack of papers with referrals from all of your customers a couple weeks from now, you'll be really glad you never had to deal with actually using this method to phone. So now with Q, I'm going to show you what phoning looks like today. So when you first log in, it'll show you your dashboard, which has all your upcoming events, the points, and callbacks you've scheduled. Let's say my appointment with my mom's coming up. I can click on it, see any notes I've taken on the phone, the address, anything she mentioned that I might want to take note of. And if I can't find the house, I can always give her a call in one tap. And The real value, though, comes not just in seeing this information right here, it comes in when you're actually making those phone calls. So when we have pen and paper, we make one call, then search through all those papers, finding the next person we want to call, deciding the next person we want to call, and it wastes so much time. So with Q, you queue the people you want to call in the beginning of the phone jam when you're making those phone calls, and you can literally call through them in one tap, and it's so much faster. So I'll show you right now how it works. I'll queue Mom, Aaron Summer, and Dr. Loginian, my old math teacher. Hit play, and now I'll just call them one by one. So shows Caroline's mom, my full interaction history with her here, any notes I've taken, haven't taken any notes so far. I'll give her a call in one tap. Now, while I'm on the phone, I can take notes about anything that she's saying. Let's say we book a demo, and she makes a note that she needs knives. I can record that and book the demo for whatever time we agreed on. And I'll save it right to my calendar as well. So I'll get a notification for it and hang up the phone. And right there, the next person I queued just now comes up. I can give them a call. Let's say they didn't answer. And then Dr. Loginian. Let's say I called Dr. Loginian. And while I'm on the phone with her, she says, "Hey, Joe, I'm driving right now. I'm really busy. Can you call me back tomorrow?" No problem. But call back. And save that to my calendar. Hang up. And I'm done phoning. And all those actions, which used to take looking from your sheets to your schedule, writing everything out, now just happen in a series of taps. And Dr. Loginian will now be in my callbacks folder, which means I don't want to call her before it's actually time to call her back, and she'll move back into my active folder after that time. And I just booked a demo with Caroline's mom, and she'll show up in my booked section there, and I'll have the new appointment there and the new callback right there. So that's how it works. And it'll save you so much time, but more importantly, it'll save you energy on the back end. Because if you're nervous, the most difficult part is actually getting yourself to dial the number, and Q takes care of that for you. So I used to be average at phoning. After I built a prototype for this and started using it last fall, I was #1 in the office almost every time we phoned, and the version that you guys are about to download that I just showed you is way more powerful than that. Everyone we tested it with gave great feedback about making the app easier, revolutionizing Vector. So really giving you a powerful tool here. If you're nervous, like I always am when I phone, it'll make phoning a little less nerve-wracking. If you're ready to attack the phone, which I try to be when I phone, it'll make things way faster and way more organized for you. Plus, this is what's called a customer relationship management system. And that's a skill you can put on your resume that looks a little bit better than Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and so on. So you can head to getque.com, that's get-queue.com, and download it now. And again, my goal is that this is a helpful tool for you. So if you have an idea for a feature or you think something's wrong, please reach out. I'll put a text me button and a call me button in the settings. And you can also just access the contact me section right in the getque.com website. So thanks for listening. Happy phoning. And make sure you follow the manual.